Chapter 28. Greg arrives in Lyme. Maggie had a restless night, sleeping fitfully and every now and then checking her phone. But all messages had ceased. It was, she told herself, the middle of the night. Finally, about 5 o'clock, she went into a deep but troubled sleep. She dreamt she was in London trying to get to Greg's hotel. She could not operate the machine to get a ticket for the Underground. The queue of people behind her became angry. She turned around to pick up her handbag to phone the hotel, but the handbag was gone. The face of a policeman swung in front of her. "Madam, is this your handbag?" It was, but it contained nothing that belonged to her. Alone and confused, she awoke to a feeling that she was no longer in control of her own life, that she was, in fact, living someone else's life. She switched on her phone. There were no further messages. She began to feel that she had made a terrible error of judgment. "I'm going home," she announced after lunch. Anne shot a worried look at Jeff. "Listen, old girl," he began. "What you need right now is another day of Anne's TLC, and then you can set off early in the morning to avoid the traffic." But I really... Look, I won't hear of you driving back yet. You need another day to recover. Anne is going to take you for a walk now in the fresh air, just what you need. They walked down to the town. The main street in Lyme is a rather steep hill and runs parallel to the sea, and is lined on either side by a variety of small individual shops and restaurants. Anne and Maggie knew them well, and in spite of her anxiety and distraction, Maggie followed Anne, weaving in and out of bric-a-brac and charity shops, and for a moment she was enjoying herself. This was a life that was familiar and comfortable to her. The climb back up the hill to the cottage was exhausting. Wind-blown, pink-cheeked and out of breath, they stumbled into the cottage ready for a cup of tea. Standing with his back to them, staring out to sea, was Greg. "Hi," said Anne. "I'll go and put the kettle on." Any thought of collapsing into his arms was immediately ruled out. He looked tired, angry, and at the end of his tether. "Maggie," he said wearily, "what's happening?" She could not think of anything to say that would not make the situation worse. He looked straight at her. "I was in London, trying to complete a deal with my inexperienced and rather emotionally fragile daughter. My ex-wife managed to get all of us in the papers. I really needed you to be there to support me. I was worried sick when you stopped taking my calls. Tori said you were okay, but what did it mean? That you'd changed your mind about us? Maggie, I hardly slept a wink last night, so I ask you again, will you please tell me what's happening?" "I got spooked," she stammered. "By what?" "I thought the newspaper article made me look silly." "To hell with the newspapers," Greg shouted angrily. "You should have come to me, not run away at the first hint of something unpleasant." "It wasn't like that," cried Maggie. "I just felt so..." She paused to find the right word. "So unworthy." They stood in silence. The door opened and Jeff came in. "Well," he said, "now that round one of negotiations is over, can we please have a drink?" Silently they followed Jeff into the kitchen. Anne had changed and put on makeup. "You're going out?" said Maggie anxiously. "We're all going out," replied Jeff. "I've booked a table at the Fish Basket. We'll have a snifter here, then walk down and get a taxi back. Champagne for the girls, and I have a rather good bottle of Chateauneuf du Pape for us." He poured the drinks and they clinked their glasses. "Your good health, and here's to good times ahead," said the ever-positive Jeff. Cheers, they all replied. If you're enjoying the story, don't forget to like and subscribe. But this is all for now. See you soon. Bye.